So I just had new student orientation at SDSU, and it was a waste of time. I drove down 2 hours, to and back, just to be told that they require more than 12 credits. The lady literally was like, this is your first year, and this is your second year. And I was like, whoa.
Hold up. Hey, hold up.
To be fair, I informed them about how many transferable credits would go in, how many I would need, all the way back in March 25, 2022, but they really hardly ever gave me any updates. First it was like, there's the pre-val, and then, we have to do a complete eval, and then the complete eval doesn't even 100% about which credits would transfer, and then, well, just so you don't miss the fall semester, you should apply. And I did, and I was accepted. And then here's your student ID, and here's your school ID, and you need to take a picture. And I was like, none of this really matters if, you don't tell me the one thing that's going to push me to go back to the University of Minnesota, which was, how many credits do I need? I literally walked out during class registration when they finally admitted to me how many classes and credits I would need. I'm guessing it was like 20 or 30. Now listen, I already have at least 3.75 years of schooling in University of Minnesota. I only need 8 credits, 4 electives, so it could be anything basically, especially online, and then 4 credit course, which is 2 specific courses in the field of family and social science, either 4294 or 4296. So, if they were going to transfer a lot of my credits to SDSU, maybe they said, oh, you only need 6 or 8, I would have taken that, Even if they said 12, I would have been like, okay, I'll do that too, but you got to give me a minor. It's like, it was more than 12 and you couldn't tell me this 3 months ago?
When did this happen?
3 months ago.
3 months ago?
And you've been lying to us since then?
3 months ago?
If you'll just let me explain.
3 months ago?
My best friend, he lived in South Dakota pretty much his whole life, even though he's originally from Texas. And he was shocked that a school dealing specifically, for transfer students wouldn't tell you exactly how many credits you need, or at least how many credits transfer, just so the student has an idea if they want to bother with this school or not. Certainly before registration and getting your student ID and email and all that stuff. And I got to say, okay, I can't imagine any other institution of higher education that would conduct this level of unprofessional misconduct.
Yes, Queen! Yes, Queen! Yes, Queen! Yes, Queen!
At least they don't get $5,000 of tuition from me. They only charge me $10 for the registration fee, so if you don't buy yourself a nice chicken dinner, you're going to have a hard time tonight. Well, that, and also, I lost $35 in gas going there and going back at $4.50. Well, geez, I remember when gas was $4.90, but when I filled it up yesterday, it was $4.55. But still, that was such a wasted trip. So what is the new plan? Well, the new plan is obviously to go back to University of Minnesota, except obviously I already have a house here. So that'd be very difficult to do. The 8 credits that I mentioned, 4 are electives online. I can literally do anything, anytime, anywhere. That's not a problem. The real problem is really the 4 credit course, which is taught by the same professor. It's FSOS 4294 or 4296. Now 4294, I think that's field research, and then 4296 is an internship. So it really depends on what I can make happen. 4296 being, an internship, it's also mostly online. And I have been in contact with the University of Minnesota, and they're saying there's 4 times of physical attendance. So you got to be there in physical attendance 4 times. And where I live from Minneapolis is about 4 hours away. My driving limit's about 2 hours. I really can't drive any longer than that without falling asleep or just, I don't know, having a terrible headache. So that's an option, I guess. 4294, I imagine that's actual full attendance. And the only way that could work is if I have some kind of contact in Minnesota that I would live with and pay rent with. So I think for the first part, we're just going to deal with the 4 electives. I would verify that the courses here would transfer to the University of Minnesota. It'd be fully online. I'd go my own pace. I can work at it at home, at work. It's no problem. It's just that 4-credit course within FSOS, that one, I'm thinking of splitting it and just doing that in spring 2023. Now at this point, I guess it would make sense to explain why I never got my bachelor's. Well, I was pretty close, as you can tell. I would mark that as 3.75, pretty close to graduation, just 8 credits. But at the time, what had happened was my parents, biological mom and my dad, they were not getting along. They were looking at a strong possibility of divorce. So with me in college and my younger brother in college and then my youngest brother about to go to college, going from 2 incomes to 1 would be devastatingly difficult. So at the time, personally for me, my heart wasn't really in it. Obviously I would have graduated, but gosh, I really can't say that in my personal case, I should have gone to college right away at 18. I do think now, I'm 33 years old, I do think now that some people just don't need to go into a higher education of learning right away. If I can go back in time, I'd actually probably wouldn't even think about college until like 27. And even at 27, I don't think I still would have gone. Everyone in my family, we tend to be workaholics. My dad, my older brother, and I, we just work a lot, Now, there's nothing wrong with college, but with the rising tuition, it just kind of makes sense that, should you really go unless you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer? But anyways, yeah, as you can imagine, my heart wasn't in it. Parents are divorcing. There's me, my younger brother, and my youngest brother about to go to college. So I just decided, I'll just drop out. I'll drop out. I'll work full time. My older brother already has his associates in automotive industry, so he works on vehicles. He's done that for 10 years and he loves it, so he's not going to change. And we did that pretty much for the next 10 years. We just worked full time, many hours, many cases over full time. There was a time where I was working 84 hours a week, and that was mostly to get our mother settled, our biological mother settled in Kansas. So she got a free car, and then we made sure she was settled in Kansas. And then, of course, we make sure that my younger brother got his degree in 2D and 3D art, which he did get. And my youngest brother just got his bachelor's in business administration. And now he's actually going to continue in master's. So he wants to get his master's in business administration. So, 10 years later, 3 people working more than full time. Everything's done. Everything's settled. We moved into a new house. So my older brother gets the old house, and this house will be mine and my stepbrother's. We're not allowed to kick each other out, so our name is on there, and I can't remove him. He can't remove me. He's 12 years old, but basically we can't remove each other. And everything's settled. Everything's done. And so I can't say that I'm particularly interested to get the bachelor's. It would just increase my pay from $16 to $24, but what do I need though? I have a house and a car. I guess I'd like to have a girlfriend, but no, not really. And I've kind of minimized my life to an insane degree. So I used to go to the gym at Great Life. That was $35 a month. Now I don't. I've kind of slimmed down from the hypertrophy body, the big bulky body, down to a more fighting form, martial arts body. And I can do that at home. And I do that at home. Monday, Wednesday, Friday are punches. Tuesday and Thursday is kicks. So I save $35 a month by not going to the gym, but I still get exercise. And my groceries, I can't imagine what it was before, probably $200 a month, but I decided to kind of slim that down, and the first time I got it down to $140 a month. And then I tried it again, and I was able to get it down to $60 a month. So I'm not really hurting for money, you know, I'm doing pretty good. The only thing really would probably be my friends. My best friend has had some rent trouble the last 2 months, and now a speeding ticket trouble. So I guess that's the only reason I would try to make more money. But me personally, I think it's okay. Or just the fact that I'm just so dang bored now. I like, what am I gonna do? You know, yeah, the YouTube's nice, but I keep getting too far ahead of schedule, so now I'm just bored. So yeah, let's go get my bachelor's because I'm bored. So in conclusion, what is the plan? Well, I've had a couple phone calls with the University of Minnesota. So basically, A is I can just do 360 hours of internship and I wouldn't even bother with the online class. Or I could just do, as I said before, the split. So 4 online classes this semester and then go to FSOS 4294 or 4296 in the spring. So that's another option. The only thing I can think of is with 4296, if possible, I'd like an internship here in South Dakota, so I can just do it here rather than have to go up there. As far as the 4 physical attendances, I'm a pretty charming guy. I think I could charm the professor out of getting out of that, you know, or a Zoom call. Who hasn't done that at work? I think it works, you know. Physical attendance, it's like, you really want me to drive 4 hours up there and then 4 hours back home? It's like, come on, guy. You help a brother out, come on. That's a little too much for me, you know. Otherwise, we could do 4294, but like I said, that's full attendance the whole time. And the only way I can do that is if I live in Minneapolis, which I don't have any contacts up there. No friends. But, well, I do have a brother up there. My younger brother. The one with the 2D and 3D art degree. He does live up there. He's kind of a long lost brother though. We haven't really heard from him in about 10 years. And I think the reason why is because, you know, the divorce kind of hit him the hardest. You know, we all had our votes. We all had the right to vote. And by our own conclusion, my brother voted yay for the divorce, and I did as well. He voted no, and then my youngest brother didn't vote. So naturally, the divorce occurred. I guess by me and my older brother's vote, and you know, I'm sure my younger brother was upset about that. And yeah, he hasn't really talked to us in 10 years. In fact, we can't even call him. I mean, yeah, we can try Facebook messaging, but you know, it just doesn't respond after a while. So that's a possibility. If I can get in contact with my long lost brother, then I guess I could do 4294, full attendance, live with him, pay a third of the rent because he has a roommate. But yeah, things are moving though. Things are moving along. You know, the academic advisor for CHD is going to talk to the professor, so I'll get in contact with the professor, see if I can charm my way out of the physical attendance, possibly do an internship here in South Dakota. So if that's the case, like, why bother with the online class at all? Just do 360 hours of an internship. It'd be no problem, because you get credit. What's 180 divided by 4? 45, right? So yeah, every 45 hours of an internship is 1 credit. So 180 is 4 credits for that class, but obviously I can do 45 hours and get 1 more credit. So do that 4 more times. There you go, I'm done. I don't even have to do an online class. So those are kind of my options right now. I'll just wait until I get in contact with the professor herself and possibly another advisor that would know a little bit more. So that is the life plan to get my bachelor's that I'm not really motivated to get except to help my friends' financial troubles. I guess you could call this a life vlog. Probably not that interesting, but I was looking forward to it and I was disappointed by the results. So hopefully things will turn out better in the future. Thank you guys for watching, and you have a nice day now, okay? Bye.
You learned martial arts! Martial arts, go!